Okay. Doing a VOD review for one of my friends here. I'm gonna pull up his tracker real quick, and we're just gonna look at this act because this is actually an account that I played on as well, and like we've all kind of shared when we won a 5 stack and stuff like that. But this act, I don't think I've played a single game on this. Yeah, I don't think I played a single game on this account at all. And this is the count he has been leveling. So we're just gonna look at this act, and we'll look at the stats first. Immediately ADR is good. KD is not the worst. Could be a little better, but that's not bad. Generally a good KD you want to have, regardless of whatever rank you're in, is like a 1.1 at least. That's like a very like easy to get to KD. Headshot is actually kind of ideal because we'll have to look into the guns because it really depends what guns we're using. Like if you're like Vandal only, Sheriff only, it should be definitely higher. But generally a 20% headshot is like great because, or I would say optimal, because you know the Bucky's in the game, the Judge's in the game, the Shorty's in the game, the Stinger especially. Like those guns need to be abused, especially on certain maps. Win rate is not so good. Ideally, solo queue you should have at least like 55% win rate minimum, right? But you really want like 60, 65, you know, that kind of stuff. And just a quick shout out to you know, Charlatan, because again I pull a lot of my ideas from Charlatan. I really do think he's the best coach in this game, and he's been around in the game since the very beginning. I've seen like so many different like coaches and stuff, so I pull a lot of ideas from everyone, and I've got some of my own, of course. But I just thought I would mention that just for a second because I don't really see a lot of good tracker reviews except Charlatan. Like he seems to be the only one that like does that properly, and I've learned a lot from him. So that's and like this ADR like around 145, 140. That's great. Uh, Cast could be a little higher. Again, Charlatan's someone who thinks like 75% cast is pretty good. I think I think he's probably right, you know, but usually somewhere between like 70 to 75%. I feel like I've definitely seen like really good players have maybe identical cast. So, but I mean in general, cast is basically like, I mean, it says kill, assist, survived, or traded. It basically just means that you're playing off of your team really well, or you're in a position where your team can play off of you really well. Now, in lower elo, that's probably a little harder to do, but you should always be able to play off your team in some way. Uh, and then all this other stuff, I mean, I don't think we really need to look at it. Well, let's look at your guns. If I even remember how to do that. What is it, weapons? So on your full buys, this is sick. 1.25 kitty, that's great. Your pistol is positive. That's also good. Could be better. Your semi is not that bad. Your ecos are horrible. But it's not like so horrible, honestly. Like, but what you really want to aim for with your ecos is always get a kill. Like your goal on an eco round is get a kill. Like usually what I like to do is just buy a shorty or buy a bucky or something like that. And an eco is just below, and it gives you the numbers, just below a 1k buy. So usually like shorty with utility is like a really good buy on an eco. Or and make sure that you're dropping the classic as well. Just so like you could have it as a backup if you need to rotate somewhere or something like that. It also depends what agent you're on. You're playing a lot of Jett, so you could really just rock with the shorty as long as you have your smokes and dash. Pretty much anywhere, any map, except maybe like Breeze. But even Abyss, low key, there's a couple ways you could get a kill with the shorty on Abyss. Mostly like, but I don't know. We'll see. I think the VOD is Abyss, right? Yeah. I could show you some stuff or some ideas. How well they'll work, I don't know. I don't really play a lot of Jett. But Vandal, Ghost, Phantom, Spectre, Operator. I'm glad the Operator's this high. That's really good. but the Spectre shouldn't be this high. The Ghost shouldn't really be this high. Probably you just want to pick one of these two most of the time, but I mean this isn't like horrible. Let's see what's really low. Marshall's low. That's whatever. More melee than Marshall. That's funny. Ares, Guardian. Yeah, honestly, kind of good to see these guns in the lower tier. Outlaw is too low. Odin, very map dependent. I don't really think the Odin's too big of a deal if it's low. The Bucky needs to be higher. The Frenzy, yeah, it depends if you like the Frenzy. I mean, if you like the Frenzy for like a pistol, even on ecos, it can be kind of good. But I really do think that your Judge isn't too bad actually. Like that's actually decent. I think Bucky and could go up. Shorty could definitely go up because Shorty, especially when you're opping, is like such a great secondary. Like especially when you're Jett. But I'm someone who also likes the Ghost a lot. But I mean, this is just way too many. Like, I mean, it being second is kind of crazy. Like, that's insane. I guess you just Ghost always on a pistol. And I actually, sometimes I'll Ghost on Eco too, so I'm not like, you know, the only other guy I notice uses the Ghost a lot is Nats. I think he prefers it over the Sheriff, and honestly, I think I also prefer it over the Sheriff in a lot of rounds, so it's really not too bad that it's high, but I mean, second is insane. I mean, I don't know, Classic, I'm surprised Classic is like that much lower than the Ghost, because there's some good buys you can do with pistol with the Classic, especially as Jett. One thing he said that he was struggling with specifically was not knowing what to do once your initial plan fails, or basically just having a lack of an like lacking a fallback plan, a plan B. Like, what do you do with your team, especially in Plat, like once your initial plan falls apart? You know, like you're hitting a site, it gets stopped. Like, what do you do then? Okay, so we'll keep an eye out for that. And let's just start the VOD. This is not on YouTube. Now he said the I might edit this a little bit to like center this, but it does look weird. I didn't expect the VOD to look weird. He told me it would look weird, but this is not what I was expecting. He plays on like some sort of 720 stretched or something, but it recorded weird. I don't know why it would record like this. I wonder if he's using OBS, because I don't think OBS would do this.
Smoke screen and think about where to smoke for 20 minutes straight. Because it's too pretty otherwise.
Oh, and by the way, he gave me permission to lay into him. Again, I'm friends with this guy for like a long time. And his brother's also playing here, so you know. I probably won't lay into him that hard, to be honest, but if it happens, just know that I'm not being toxic. It's between friends.
You already know they're gonna. He knows it.
Yeah, straight to B they go.
Alright, so we are pistoling. we're 5-stacking hay. Yeah, I don't recommend this. I don't know, maybe the comm was just like, hey, let's just gamble stack. If you do want to gamble stack, I wouldn't, like, I know sometimes I do it when I play with you guys for fun because we're messing around, but like if you really want to get into the solo queue Sigma grind set, you know, you really can't do this, especially on let me open Valo plan. I'll like, you really can't do this on Abyss, but if you are gonna do it, always have one guy play on site. Like, what's your comp? Your comp is a Sage. Yeah, so what I would say is get your Sage to play B and just hold on. Just I mean, I don't know. It's tough to tell your teammates what to do, but I mean, what I would do is I would 4-1. I would just say, hey, send one guy B, just like, look, dude, just like slow orb this spot, try to hold on to this area, and just stay alive, and that's all you have to do. Or you could tell them, hey, like, just buy wall, and we're just gonna retake with your wall, and you're gonna wall off the bomb. That's the plan, you know. And then like the other, who's Reyna? I'm assuming your brother is Reyna, right? I can't quite tell. Yeah, okay. So that's what I would do. I would just 4-1. Then I would send like the other 4 players to fight the A hit. Now, I think a better thing is if you are going to stack something on Abyss is fight B, because A is a little bit easier to retake, B is a nightmare to retake on this map. Because what the enemies have is they have like this line of sight, they can swing from here and here, and then danger, and if the bomb is planted, and then obviously retaking the site itself is actually hard too, because before you even get to these positions, you still have to fight this guy swinging here. Maybe they're playing up top of the site, or they've already taken heaven space. If they've taken this space right here, I mean, dude, it's like GG. It's so hard to retake that. Now, in Plat, you know, it probably doesn't matter as much. But I mean, I'm just saying, you have to use a lot of utility generally to retake these positions, and then they can still just sit here. And it's Abyss, so it's a long rotation map, which means you're all here. By the time you get here, Spike's got like, what, 30 seconds left? So 10 seconds have gone by. And then now you have to re-clear the site and then retake all this space, or like retake all this and then fight this space. And if the bomb's planted here, it's even worse. Like, it's tough. So I would, like, with A though, it's like all you need to retake with A is just this spot, and then this stuff kind of just like there's just no cover for the enemies to really hide behind. It's like very open space, and it just means that, like, do you have a recon? You have Gecko. It's not bad. I mean, you could just Gecko flash out of heaven. It could be really good. But, I mean, the point being is, like, these angles right here are nowhere near as favorable to the opponents as, like, these long lines of sight that they can just hold, you know? Like, this is definitely a lot harder to, like, post-plant wise. But, I'm yapping a little too much for one round. This might be a long video. I tend to yap a lot. I mean, you guys know how I am. When it comes to Valorant, at least. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I don't know if you're doing something else, but I mean, if your team's sending it, I mean, you gotta send it with them, right? I mean, you stacked A. Maybe the idea wasn't clear. See, here's the thing. Even if you thought, oh, we're just gonna stack and hide and let them come into the site and then we fight them, I mean, look at your friend's position here, right? Look at this guy's position. Look, what is their body telling you? And you play with your brother all the time. You know how he's gonna play, bro. Like we know what's about to happen. You gotta send it in there with them. And that's just like, you know, a huge rule of ranked is like, and just Valorant in general, right? Like any team play game, you always have to just send it with your team. Usually, there's times where you don't have to, but you always have to play off them, right? So that cast that we mentioned earlier, like this is a huge part of it. You got to be able to play off your teammates, and you got to go with them. And you were just very slow. You know, like 5 seconds have gone by. This fight happens in like the first. I mean, honestly, it happened later than what it should have, but you know, most games, this fight takes place in the first second. You know, first second and a half, first 2 seconds. Right? I think they just saw the star, so they slowed down. And then so now you're knife out. Like, you're knife out here, which is dangerous, but you're trying to get to your teammate. But, like, you should have just been there already. But it's a 3v1.
Stick with the bomb.
So you're at, yeah, okay, that's a good call. And then we're walling off that. That's great.
Good deep.
So I like that you're aware of the Omen's potential play here. I just think that where I would hold, it looks like you're backing up. Let me load up Valorant. What I would hold is I would just hold, because like you're aware the Omen could TP on top of the wall, or he could, of course, you know, go for this play, and of course he wouldn't do the space jump or the space hold like Jett can, but he could still TP, right? But I mean, that's not really a huge issue. I mean, you're gonna still be able to hear the TP from like this distance. So if he's on the wall, and if he's here, I mean, you'll just kill him, right? So I mean, all you have to do is just hold like this. And the reason why you want to hold further back is you gotta be able to like quickly trade this Astra ideally. Now, you probably want to ask your Astra to come back a little bit, like tell your Astra like, hey, can you just hold, you know, a little bit closer or something. I think let me scratch that, because I think in Plat, And you know what? Even in Immortal, it's like, don't even try to tell your teammate what to do. Like, most of the time, they're just not going to do it. Especially in, like, unique situations like this. The point being, I think you could just hold from, like, back here. And that if your Astra does take a gunfight, and that gunfight lasts a while, like, I don't know, it was your Astra playing here, maybe, potentially, you could, like, help her a little bit sooner. That's basically the point I was trying to get across. While Vala Plant's open, let's go over a couple things about Abyss. So I already mentioned how B site is basically, this is your number one area to defend on defense. Charlatan likes to call it your default bomb site. I think that's a good expression for it. It just means that you always start the first couple rounds probably on B. Just because B is very hard to retake, like I mentioned, and A is your secondary site. And the default bomb site is basically just like when you start the first few rounds there, and on top of that, you go there if you're not really sure where the enemies are gonna hit. It's usually a good idea. Like, if you have no idea where they're gonna hit, they've been swapping back and forth, and you can't really recognize any pattern. Just start B, and you usually want to start in this area, because if you start in this area, you could fast rotate if you need to, or take a safe rotate if you need to. So that's why it's called the default bomb site. It's basically like a big part of leveling up in Valorant or ranking up is like just having good, simple default ideas like that. It helps so much. But so on defense, it kind of works like that. I think on defense you can fight mid a lot too, depending on your comp as well. I think that's kind of underrated. But you know, a bit of a macro point is that what you definitely don't want to do is die fighting the site. When it comes to the site, especially early, right? Like fighting and like dying here is just a huge mistake, because these long rotations, I mean, you're not going to get help anytime soon. And if there's a second player on the site, that's usually here, or like, you know, usually Art, right? If you're up here trying to like rotate fast off B contact, but like take this fight very, like you always, if you're going to take this fight, you pretty much always want to pop Jett dash, in my opinion, on defense. And in general, you know, be very careful about this fight. I don't think that fight's just worth it most of the time, because they're gonna usually throw some util, and there's a high-low swing. I think you could do this with an op. You know, like if you're opping, it could make sense, because I think you're much more likely to just like hit that shot. I am not a Jett player, so I would mess that dash up. But yeah, something like that. But I mean, you really want to play in positions where you can like easily get out of. So like, I really like this position. I think I saw Osbos use it. Something like this, especially with an op. Which, by the way, op is your #1 priority on this map, is Jett. So like here is really good, and then you fall down. And you always play on the edge of any sort of like vertical position that you can fall off of. Always scoot to the edge. I think here you can go all the way to the edge of this gray line right here, and then if you go past it, you fall. So that's like a good marker for it. So you could just do this. And I play like right where this arrow is, or it's almost like an arrow. But yeah, this is really good. And then from there, you know, you could come here again, and then use your dash, right? Because at this point, you haven't even used your dash yet. You don't need to use your dash. Like, this is good enough. And then if you want to go for a second peek, you know, you would actually do it better than me, because I am not a Jett guy, but yeah. I think you get the idea. That was like an example. On B, it'll be a little bit different. We'll go over B later. I am yapping though, but that's kind of some macro. I like that you went to come help your Sage. I need to rewind this. So your Astra does die because he's out in the open and just soloing, but you know where he is now. You're doubled up with the Sage. That's good. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Yeah, the Omen, you know, he couldn't have... he can't be A anytime soon. And you still have bomb. Dude, where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, well, maybe you heard him. I need to turn this volume up.
hit him 105.
Okay, yeah, he's vent. Okay. Yeah, and okay, so you started. Okay, so I just didn't hear that. I turned the volume down because I heard Lil Bro just screaming in the microphone, so I thought this whole VOD was going to be super loud. But so you started moving after he broke the second vent. That's very good awareness on your part. Yeah. So once you see that wall crumbling, gun should have been out. I don't think you need to fight like this because.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Yeah, once the wall starts crumbling, just gun out. If you're not 100% sure on how that timing is, just gun out. And you probably, if once you see it crumbling, you probably just shouldn't have even gone here. And honestly, you know, it's like we just talked about how, like, you know, on defense, it's kind of scary to hold this position because it's a high-low. Well, you could just high-low with your Sage here, and it's just as scary for this guy because he has to swing into you to get bombed, and you just hold together. So yeah, on this map, and pretty much every map, but especially this map, this gun right here is, like, it's fun to use, but it is, like, it broke the game's economy, in my opinion. I think it's, like, so busted, it's so crazy. But even if you didn't want to go outlaw, because, like, you know, depending on your money, you could have just outlawed light shield and no util. Like, I don't know if you, I don't think you got any kills, right? So you probably could have just done that buy. But if you don't want to, you could still marshal, and, like, a marshal is still infinitely better than a Spectre. Like, a Spectre, like, I've been experimenting with the Spectre more, and I know, like, everyone from Charlatan to TMV to Slit to just, like, everyone is gonna tell you the Stinger is better. I'm gonna tell you the Stinger is better because, at least in terms of money, it's basically $500 less for a gun that will do the exact same thing in the vast majority of situations, and maybe even it's honestly better in some situations. But I've been playing with the Spectre more, and I don't hate the gun. But my point is that on defense, though, you would never buy either of these guns. Like there's just not enough like, you want to take as many fights in this game as you can without exposing yourself to too much risk. Like, even this is kind of risky, but, like, at least with a marshal, you could take that fight and then just leave, and then maybe, like, come back up here, you know, if you think you got time, and then come here and do a dash properly, like I can't. You know, you can do that, and then even when you're rotating, you could rotate through mid. You can have a marshal on these angles, right? These angles are great, you know? You come out, do this as you're rotating, wait for that mid lurk, you know? Or you could smoke yourself off, you know, if you want to play it safe, that's fine too. But I mean, the marshal is also a shotgun. I mean, this thing is, against an eco, it's just like, look how accurate that is. That's crazy. And it's doing 100 damage to guys down. In Plat, people's buys are probably really bad, so I'd recommend going with the Outlaw just so you can farm. Because people don't know how to buy yet, usually in Plat. So, like, they'll buy Light Shield on their Eco, right? They'll just go Light Shield, which isn't going to matter to this gun, right? You'll just be able to kill them anyway. And then next round, they might still also have Light Shield because they didn't buy correctly on their Eco. You absolutely go Outlaw pretty much 100% of the time on this map on defense if you want pistol. Especially as Jett.
Now I just
like, I know the op wasn't too low on the tracker when we were looking at the weapons, but I mean,
Get out of my fucking.
you probably should be using it more, man. I mean, Jett's so good at the op. Let's see how you rotated real quick. So you're taking the fast rotation position, which is fine. Okay, you could have just gotten killed. You could die here. You could die. You could die. Definitely could die.
Out of my
okay.
fucking.
So that you saw how much time there. Now I don't know. Maybe the. I mean, as far as I could tell, I couldn't hear them say all five. But even in Plat, if someone says all five, even in Immortal, if someone says. In Immortal, it's more trustworthy, but, you know, honestly, in the first 4 or 5 rounds, do not trust your team, right? Even if they were to say all five, I would still be very careful. I mean, I would trust him that, you know, when he's saying all 5, he probably hears at least 3. But people like to exaggerate sometimes, or they're not really certain. I'd always be ready for these lurks, you know. Some smurf with a sheriff is, you know, could definitely just come here and just tap you here tap you here. You got stuck. You're like knife out this entire time. You wouldn't have been able to do anything. Even if you had your gun out, it wouldn't have mattered because you have a Spectre, right? Like, the Sheriff is better than the Spectre at these ranges. Right, Spectre fall off is, what, 15 meters to 30 meters? Look at that fall off on this side, right? Look at the Sheriff. 30 meters, it's doing 159. 30 to 50, it's doing 145. And I think 141 after 50, right? Something like that. But, you know, it'll still kill you, like, no matter what, if you have light shield or no shield. Or regen, right? So, I mean, this thing is nowhere near as good. I mean, literally, if you just went Sheriff instead of a Spectre, like, you could argue that that's a better buy than the Spectre on this map. Now, there's still a lot of cool things you can do with eco guns and SMGs on this map, especially as Jett. Like, you know, you could probably come up with some really cool retake. You're smoked off here, you smoke like this, you dash into here, and, you know, you kill them or whatever. Or there's probably a way better way to do that, but still, I mean, the Marshal is just a way safer play, way safer play. Or the Outlaw. I would definitely go Outlaw. Yeah, I mean, these angles are terrible to peek, man. Like, the reason you don't want to... So, you have smokes. That smoke dissipates. And, like, look, there could be a guy here with the Sheriff. This guy could swing out with the Sheriff. Your team can't really trade you. Bro's got a shorty on a shelf. This guy's hiding behind a wall holding danger. And then you have two other teammates here, so that's good. I didn't notice these two guys that they were holding. But it's kind of hard to say what the Sage is actually able to see. I mean, she's only seeing a sliver of this, like, right side because the wall's blocking. It's really just this Astra that could help you here. And we don't even know what gun he has. He might also be like you and bought a Spectre, and he can't do anything. But point being, you're not taking a good fight. This Sheriff clears you every day in Immortal against the Spectre.
They are.
Yeah, and so I think this is this would also be kind of awkward for me too. So I think I get what you're saying. Is like, all right, we're here, we're ready to fight, and the enemies aren't here anymore. What do we do? Now it's awkward, right? So I think at this point, definitely swinging move the Spectre is not the play. Now you might get a kill. I mean, almost. That guy had a classic and he almost won that fight, right? Because the Spectre just is not the gun. I will say, I still think this... I'm shitting all over the Spectre, but, like, I still think double taps with the Spectre are actually pretty good. Like, you could do a double burst even. But if you're hitting head, you actually kill a guy, like a dude with no armor. Like, you actually kill him at pretty long distances. I used to do that a lot. But, so definitely don't spray with it if you're going for a ranged fight like that. But again, you just shouldn't have it. Like a Marshal, you probably kill that Neon and the Yeoman. You know, you just pop both of them. If you didn't want to spend money on the Outlaw. Outlaw, even easier. But yeah, back to the little bit more of the macro. I think it's fine if you want to get info mid. I think that is fine. But what you should be aware of is this timing could have happened where this guy is already up here. Because all of you were on the site, mid was wide open. Some dude could have lurked up here and could be right here. Right, so this knife out thing is something I would never do. I would not be knife out. I'd be super aware that this guy could be here. He could even have walked up here. I mean, who knows? This timing could have been just, like, perfect, and he could have walked up into this position. So what I would do, I wouldn't even worry about mid, to be honest. But if you're confident that he didn't already cross your mid, I would be jump spotting this. If you really want to get this close and take a little bit of a chance, I would definitely jump spot. I would never fight this if I had a Spectre. Like, no way. I would probably jump spot like this to clear top.
Here.
And then if you want, you go for a second jump spot to clear like here. This pause right here, and this.
Here.
And then after that, I wouldn't updraft. I just misclicked. But I'm not even worried about mid. I'm just going spawn with my teammate, and I would tell my teammates, hey guys, let's just go spawn to B. If you think they're B. But I mean, the thing is this Jett gets seen a little bit earlier than what we're at right now. I think you got saw a few seconds ago. And yeah, it's very individual right now. And that's what you don't want. I think... So you're going back to get heals, that's good. Whoops. Get back to this.
Go back B.
Oh, you're pushing up, you're crazy. Your teammate, once your team's mid, whatever, you could be like, alright, I'm just gonna fight with my team mid. Now it's okay to do that. Again, I'm never holding this. I'm never ever holding this. And now I see. So looks like you started pushing up before this guy died, I think. So you wanted to group with him, which is reasonable. But I mean,
Go back B.
I think here,
At least one person.
I mean, you're getting a lot of value, at least.
30 seconds.
Like, it's gonna work out, right? It's gonna work out, but man, I mean, just like anytime someone could have swung you with the sheriff. And it's just so hard to win that fight, especially with no shield now.
Planted.
Yeah, here's a little thing. That's something that's so worth getting good at because it could save your life, and it saves you time, and it makes your timings better. Is learn to silent jump this stuff. With Jett, it's a little bit harder for me because I'm not used to the. You don't want to make this noise, right? But even still, whoops. Can you? Wow, I swear you could like. Okay, if you do it soon enough, it doesn't really make as much noise. That would have been okay, but ideally what you want to do is you shift walk, and then you do that. And the trick to silent getting on these ropes is that you always want to be vertically dropping directly on it whenever you press F to grab it. So for example, if I were to come here, right, I'm gonna always make noise, even though I was holding shift. Whoops, I missed it that time. But even when you hold shift, if you're not like close to it, it'll just make noise. Whereas here, if I'm like kind of close like this, I made noise with my, you know, I fell down too early, and I made noise with my Jett flying ability. But, I mean, the rope was silent. Again, I'm just not a Jett player, so that timing, you gotta be really quick with that space. But that's something worth doing, because you really don't want to be just like... Look at all this time. Look at all that time that someone could just swing you, and you know, you have rope accuracy. Now, rope accuracy is not that bad sometimes, but still. We want to play efficiently. You're waiting for your bro, that's good. I like that.
Here, stealing sight.
He's left side.
Yeah, that's good. See, that was a good fight to take because once you hear him jump up on danger, your Spectre's in a good spot.
Nice.
Healing you.
Okay.
To work.
So not the worst
Not
thing
a bad-
about this. Once the like the fights themselves looked fine. Other than the Omen, but that was just like a horrible fight to take to begin with. Yeah, see now this round you have a Spectre. I mean, what I think what I would do here is I'd play close, like where you're at actually right now is like if I'm playing A, this is probably where I'm playing. Your Sage just goes for a wild play. Not much you can really do there. Oh, you're gonna go for a wild play.
What?
You know what? I actually like
Point
this.
blank, how does any of my bullets miss?
I like the play. I kind of wish the Astra Smoke was if that Astra Smoke was a bit deeper. So something you could do for your games is maybe say like, hey Astra, can you smoke like here, like mark exactly where the ping is. If you want to ever go for that play, and you could jump around and Spectre them. It's kind of a crazy play, and like you really technically shouldn't be doing it, but it was cool. And you know, on a bonus round, that's the time for crazy plays. And you came back and stuff. Like,
Any of my bullets miss.
I think what I would have done is, you know, you dashed into the wall by mistake, but I remember you have another dash, and you hear that they're right next to you. In this position, you're really hoping to get one, and you know, maximum get out. I mean, it's not unreasonable. I mean, you hear them right there, so I think you really should have popped your second dash kind of almost immediately after you messed the first one up. And then you could get a kill, right? You get a kill, and then you like dash into your smoke at some point, right? So you kill this guy, and then your dash just popped, you kill him, and then you come back here, and then F this dude up, something like that. Because the way the wall is angled, you kind of don't want to swing like this. after killing this guy. Because the second guy's gonna be like on you, and you're probably just gonna die.
Blocking sight.
And then probably something like that.
Ain't no way.
But yeah, I mean, it's a Spectre. I think I would prefer to play B with the Spectre, especially if my Sage is going towards A. And you would just play like on the B side. If you look at my mouse here, like just somewhere on the B side. I'm kind of getting tired of like switching back and forth between all these like different tabs, because I know like Valorant takes a second. There's like a black screen. Maybe I could fix that. It will load a little bit faster if I go into the video settings and do like windowed full screen. We'll see if that works. I'll have to check on the recording later. But where were we? Yeah, so 3A again. I mean, your Gecko's just screwed B, man. What is he gonna do?
Got this.
Why do we love A so much?
And
B. And B.
stay alive, baby.
At least you were in a fast rotate position. You're playing like backside towards A. So I mean, like you're okay. So your Astra's already used smokes and your Gecko's dead, and it's 4v4 at least.
Bro,
I think we can be patient here. We disrespecting the smoke isn't.
Bro,
It's not too bad. Oh, dude.
what? Bro, can I not?
Yeah, Reyna's going. Okay, I see. You're playing off your Reyna. My bad. Nah, makes a lot of sense. That's fine.
Bro, bro, can I not?
No, honestly, even on my screen, it looks like you hit him.
Bro, can I not?
I mean, yeah. Just a little too fast. Just a little too fast there.
Ain't no way.
On the flake. You didn't give it enough time. At least on this recording, it looks like you could have given it more time for sure. But I get he caught you off guard, and you almost hit it. And it was you played off the Reyna's flash. Like it's honestly
Bro,
fun.
what?
I wish you know what? I'll definitely be giving you more Jett ideas, like sometime after this VOD, because I don't really know too many things that you could do with your utility here. I just think like
I'm
using the
not.
dash here to fight like this is fine though. I think it's okay.
Chill out, rabbit. Take him down.
So we are popping the
Dude, I'm getting wall
knives.
bang.
They're there.
Yeah.
I would rotate. Yeah. So once he says yeah, now honestly, it would have been nice if
I'm
you got
getting wall
comms
bang.
a lot sooner. Did he say he's getting
Yeah.
wall banged? Yeah. So he said that he.
Pushing you. Oh god. Alright.
I think especially in the first few rounds, you should just always fast rotate, and the enemies have to prove that they're gonna fake something before you don't do that. So as soon as you get any kind of info that they're A, just send it.
I did back up.
And I don't think it's really worth flanking, to be honest. Now I do like to push mid, but in these first few rounds, that's the 5th round. It's not too bad, but I mean, I think you really can just like go into your heaven here and then support your team, because look, they're taking fights. You're already here. Let's count the time it takes for you to come from this position to this position. Right, so it's roughly like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Something like that. Whereas here, and we're assuming you got Jett knives, right? So it's knife out speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And then you're already in the fight. You're ready to do something. And even if this is smoked off, at least you can keep heaven control, which is super important, man. As a defender, if you lose heaven control, you just like lose the round. It's so hard to win, in my opinion. I don't see a lot of people talk about that, but like, I'd much rather lose this stuff. And security is like whatever. Like it's hard for enemies to even hold on to security, in my opinion. Most of the fights don't really feel that good. But you should try to clear it out. I mean, if you're just like, if you have to clear out this or this, and you're not really sure, like, you know, like, how many people are in each direction, but you know they're both like hostile, like there's enemies in them. I would definitely clear this out first, and then I would go art. I would never try to retake A site without not art, heaven. But yeah, look, I mean, this is like, that what took like 6 seconds to get to this position. Now you're at 9,
Blank,
10.
and I missed, bro. Oh my.
So I mean, like, your team looks like they held them off, right? They got the trades, but I mean, these fights could have easily gone the other direction, and like, the site's
No way,
lost.
he TP'd to the wall on the left side.
I think it's 3v4, and there's just one guy on site. I mean, yeah, we should have instantly updrafted, in my opinion, the second we got to that trip. It's just your site players had no help.
Spike planted.
Beat me, motherfucker.
And they weren't exactly playing in the most optimal positions. You definitely needed someone heaven. And if this is smoked off and you know it's not a threat, you could just walk up here and then off someone's contact, you look at minimap, right? You see where the enemies are, and then you jump out. Ideally, what you'd want to do is actually like fall out like this and then kill the guy. That way your back is at least covered. Or you could even do, like, I don't know, some play like this. And then kill this guy or something, or... Really anything other than what you did, honestly, because flanking just isn't going to get a lot of value on a huge map. And you took long to rotate also, so... You need to be faster on your rotation there, and you need to rotate in a fast way. So your pathing needs to be faster. Don't even worry about flank most of the time, especially if they have a cypher.
You want B. Bro, I can't.
What's your money like?
You want B. Bro, I can't believe I missed.
Yeah, I've we're only like a third of the way, not even a third of the way in, and I've already probably spent like 20-30 minutes, it feels like. So definitely play this at 2 times speed. Because I'm probably gonna keep yapping.
Bro, I feel that shit.
But yeah, I mean, enemies successfully hit A. I would say you should probably just have gone A. You know, if the enemies got A and, you know, you 3-stack the site and they still won, that makes the enemies feel pretty confident about their hit at that point. And they're just 5-manning stuff right now anyway, right? I mean, I think their second round was a little bit awkward, but I mean, all these other rounds have basically just been 5 hits. Crap.
Bro,
I want
I'm off.
Okay.
Alright, here we go.
Yeah, you want to hold Heaven here. Heaven's going to be the guy that you take first contact off of vast majority of the time. Because this player right here, this bottom player, the first thing he's going to see is your brother, right? Reyna. He's going to see Reyna first if Reyna's holding this. Either one of these positions, right? So he has to worry about clearing like these 2 angles. Technically all of this, right? Because I mean, someone could be on multiple different elevations here. It's not often used, but I mean, more people could totally play on these like different elevations. This spot's also a really good spot, by the way, because people can't see it if you're crouched. If you're like this, they can't see you, and if you want, you could hold danger, or on a timing off your teammate's contact, if like someone here sees a guy, or someone here sees a guy, you can uncrouch and start clicking their heads. It's really good. But yeah, I mean, I would just hold like this. You could even spam a little bit if you wanted at first. But I mean, I would hold like this. And I think you have a Heaven player, right? No, okay, he's playing beneath you. Yeah, man, if you double hold Heaven here, it's so strong. But yeah, that guy jump spotted you. Kind of crazy.
Close on you. Oh, fuck, I fell. I'm watching your right.
Yeah, I want to see how this angle works. I think you're doing fine holding that angle.
my ult's ready.
Because that guy has to jump in order to get to Reyna. Ah, no, he doesn't. But most people aren't going to do this. Most people are way too scared to do something like this. But yeah, he could just like walk up. How far can you get here? Wow, like super far. Can you get all of? Yeah, okay. Almost. You could almost see the entire shelf here. Yeah, he could totally kill him. But it's unlikely that he would do that. But I mean, even this, I feel like, you know, the way that Reyna's playing, kind of going back and forth. I mean, this could definitely be a kill. So I think that's just kind of on Reyna to be holding that, to be honest. And I think if you wanted to, you could like go for a tap like this if you wanted. I really wouldn't do anything else beyond that though. But I think this is all smoked off. So you could come down here and aim over the smoke if you want. Take this fight with your dash. If you want to like get aggressive. Ideally, you also have a shorty in a lot of rounds, and you could even go into the smoke and just kind of, while your Reyna's popping shots, you just shorty up in the smoke, and then you know you can dash away if you need to. Yeah, you could make a little aggressive plays like that if you want.
Spike down B.
Oh wait, he just starts holding
One
that.
enemy remaining.
Main, middle main.
Yeah, I think
Oh wait.
what you should be doing is if you are gonna hold that. Let's say the Reyna's in a position where the only way he can die is if someone does jump, and you do just want to hold this, which is fine. The reason you should hold it up here is because this Reyna, you do know this Reyna likes to get aggressive, and you always need to be fighting with him. And even if you don't know that, in any ranked game, you should just kind of assume that your teammate could just do some crazy shit, and you just need to be ready to react off it. You could stay here if you want, but you need to not be up. You need to not be here. You need to be here. That way you can quickly transition to this fight as soon as the Reyna takes it. So if this Reyna swings, you can come here and just fight. Now, if he just overswings like this, that's just kind of on him, and there's really nothing you can do about it. But once he gets info on this guy, you could pop dash. Look, you just hold this, right? You don't want to hold it like this, or where you're exposed to here. But you could just hold it like this, just this tight angle. Go for a shot. You could pop your dash too, and then as soon as you see someone here, you aren't flicking to this guy. You're just leaving, right? You're in your peripheral. If you see a guy jump, don't even worry about trying to fight him. I mean, if you're confident, you can hit him, like, because there's a lot of air time for him to land. So you could, if you wanted to, like, try to go for that shot. But I would just dash away. Just play it safe. Play the retake with my teammate. On B, like, so kind of like how A Heaven is like the priority of what you definitely want to have control of before you initiate a retake, most of the time, in my opinion. This area is something you really want to keep control over on B, because you do not want enemies to be able to get in these kind of positions, because it becomes very hard to retake. Like, then you have this guy, and then this guy as well. They could be anywhere on this like line playing an off angle. They could be close with like a stinger or a bucky or something like that. Very hard, so you never want to give them this space for free. Always try to fight for this space and contest it, and just make sure that they can't kind of hold it like this, right? You could just be ready for them to swing close or swing from back sight. Something like this isn't too bad.
Wait, running away. Wham. What?
Okay, I need to look at the money. I have not looked at the money in a while. Okay, so you've almost got op money. I mean, you definitely should have an op by now, to be honest. Like, there should be an op in play.
Let them know it's a good play.
But I've already talked about that,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah.
Jesus. Why?
Did that
So again,
sound
your
clear?
Genko is just solo B again. You gotta pay more attention to this. Like, you can't... Like, your Sage is A. You don't, like... I think at the start of the round, the Sage is going towards A. You
good
see
play.
the Astra going towards A.
Yeah.
It looks like the Astra's going towards mid.
Oh my god, it's like a
That
jet.
is... I might have to repeat myself, because I don't even know if I was heard after what I just listened to.
Engine.
Okay, so the Reyna should be going B, but at this point you gotta be like, hey Reyna, can you go B? Reyna, can you go B?
Did
Go
that
B,
sound clear?
Right?
Yeah.
You gotta let them know. You have to just be aware of the minimap. I know there's a lot of distractions going on, but just remember, just look at the start of the game, you know, look at your buy menu, look at, you know, hold tab, see what the ult and the economy is like, the ult economy and the gun economy is like for both you and the enemy team. And then look at the minimap. Where is your team going? How are they positioning themselves? What kind of information is that giving you on how to play around your teammates?
When you
So
realize
Reyna
you
is
have
going to
free
be,
will.
thank goodness.
Literally.
Alright. Nice.
Some here. Some yonder.
What a shit wall. I'm rotating.
Don't really know what you're holding for. If you want to be, I guess you're holding for maybe a potential updraft. But what a good Jett would do, I mean, you would be able to hear it. But if you want to use this on attack, what you could do is, you know, you could updraft on this box. So, something about updrafts that you should know is when you do go for an updraft play, even if there's a wall here, don't ever, like, updraft like this, you know? Whenever you're updrafting, or like, make sure you're behind cover the whole time you're vertically going up. Which sounds obvious, but, you know, it's one of those things that matters a lot. I can think of a few, like, updraft, knife plays that you can go for on maps like Ascent or Haven that this is really important information on. I don't know if it's super important on Abyss. But just make sure that when you updraft, you're, like, you know, behind cover before you swing out stuff. You know, just that you're not exposed to, like, any sort of weird angle. It's like, even if you were to go for, like, a peek, for example, you wouldn't just, like, updraft over the sage wall. Like, let's say the sage wall is here, and you're Jett on the enemy team, and you have knives, and you want to go for a play. You would never do this. You would never do this. You would if you want to come for you don't want to come from here, you would updraft like this, and then you're in the air, and then you're gliding out. Right? You glide out like that, and then you clear the angles one by one. Just a quick tip.
Gonna be here.
But yeah, I came to mind because I guess you're holding for the Jett updraft.
They still haven't even broke the fucking wall.
Which is fine. I mean, what else you got to look at?
Enemy spotted A.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you see that guy? Yeah, you can. Okay. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Beating it.
It's not often you see a sage, so I'm kind of not used to, like, if the sage wall blocks that angle or not. I'm, like, the only person that plays sage on Abyss. And even then, I never play, like, A-side. I always, like, I usually contest mid a lot. Or, like, I don't really wall this anymore, because it's usually not that good.
No! Ooh. Ooh.
I mean, at this point...
Run, run, run. I'm an Astra.
Spike plant.
Yeah, I mean, like... I would not be staying here this long.
Reloading.
Neon's here, just beating it.
Like, the wall's not broken. You're going for a fight. Now you see two here on the minimap. And like, and even if you're looking at here with your eyes, you're reloading now behind cover, your eyes should immediately be on the minimap, and you see two red X's. And this guy called it out. No! You're rotating. At this point, rotate.
Ooh.
Don't even worry about these guys. They're completely irrelevant. Even if they were to break the wall, they're totally irrelevant because they just got to kill B. And it was like the Omen Cypher. And usually wherever the smokes are, if they're like close range smokes like a Clove or an Omen. Oh, they have double smoke. That is so crazy. That I kind of mess with that though. I like it.
Ooh.
I was gonna say, usually if they have like an Omen, wherever he's at, especially in a big map like Abyss, that's where the hit is.
Run. I'm an Ash.
But yeah, I mean, you're hunting for a fight that doesn't matter right now. Like, okay,
Yeah,
you should have been left. Don't go through mid. Yeah, this isn't a good idea because now you're totally isolated. Knife out on these positions. Dude, come on, man. Like, yeah. So the first time was kind of forgivable. It's whatever because you assume that a lot of other guys are just they're like 5 hitting B when we talked about this. But like, you're knife out and you know for a fact that you saw, what was it, Neon and Clove A. And and they didn't walk out A as far as you could tell. Maybe they did, but they'd be super late and it doesn't matter. So that means that the only time you're going to come into contact with them is in mid, right? So if you want to look for a fight, you could make the argument that you're man down, and you know you could call like, hey Sage, come with me mid. We're going to look for this fight, or you could just take it solo, whatever, right? If the Sage doesn't listen, ideally most of the time you just rotate through this because this mid space, you know, Neon and Clove could be mid right now holding for you. So you really don't even want to come here, but if you just feel like you gotta get a kill, you know, clear this stuff. Like, come here, clear this, clear this, clear this, clear this. Right, come here, you know, clear that. Even the way I'm clearing it isn't like super optimal, but something like that. That's what you want to end up doing. Never in my life. I mean, look, you could jump spot, right? At least jump spot if you're gonna be knife out the whole time. Jump spot this, jump spot that, and then, you know, at least bunny hop, right? Make yourself a hard target to hit. Just doing this, you're just straight lining it. I mean, bro, you're just asking them to play aim labs at that point, bro. They're just gonna, like, they could easily kill you. I bet you're gonna be knife out on this part too. If you're knife out on this part, like, that's a sin, bro. Oh, dude.
Bro, what the fuck? Bro, y'all are just now getting there. I thought y'all were already...
And look, I'm not gonna lie, Reyna's kind of right. Like, you should have been there way sooner.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Like, it was about 5 seconds. Like, if we go back. Okay, so it's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
Wow.
Run, run, run. I mean,
This is 8, 9 seconds,
Oh,
10
man.
seconds. Oh, goodness, bro. Bro, how long does it take to rotate on this map? It's like a... So, he dies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll say 9, because I kind of, like, wasn't keeping track after I counted down.
Here.
We'll say 9. So, by the time you're just starting your rotate, you're halfway there. Like, if you had just instantly rotated as soon as this guy saw 2 and they killed the heaven player, bro, you're already here. And the best part about being here is that, okay, even if for some weird, wild reason they decide from this position, a very committed position, they want to start going back, you can rotate in either direction to help your team at least, right? But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, you absolutely could have contested this, like, heaven space and stopped the Reyna from killing your teammate.
Yeah, B.
100%.
Bro, what the fuck? Bro, y'all are just now getting there. I thought y'all were already there.
Sorry, mate.
Nah, it was
Duty is not over.
fine.
Omen
It was on me. I wasn't looking.
So
at
you're
the
aware of
map.
the... See, it's so weird to me. Like, did you hear noise?
Omen
It was on me. I wasn't looking at the map.
Oh, man. What the...
Okay.
Already there.
Sorry, mate.
Nah.
Okay,
it
you
was
heard mid, right? I think you just heard footsteps.
fine.
I was about to say, like, if you were aware that there could be a mid lurk without any info, but then you rotated through mid with your knife out, that would just make no sense, but you heard him.
It was on me. I wasn't looking at the map.
Oh, man. What the...
Where?
Oh, these stuns are so
Last
crazy
player
down there.
standing.
Nice. Yeah, look, it's the Neon and Clove flanking. Right? The guys that you saw A, like, yeah, it's them flanking through mid.
one down.
Now, like, maybe the Neon's fast, so she could have went like here and then went back up rope or something. But those are the 2 players we spotted earlier. Now, they were pretty late, but I mean, like, still.
Oh,
They absolutely had time to fight you mid earlier.
no way.
So yeah, the reason, well, we're gonna say this round's on you. We're just gonna say this round is on you. It might not seem like it, but like, you could have saved your teammate from heaven earlier, and that would have put you at like even numbers for the retake. Granted, it's still a B retake, but yeah, you played this round pretty bad.
Oh, no way.
They are everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Fuck.
No, wait. I'm not.
Okay, your Gekka's pushing stuff. Again, you gotta look at body language. Like, look at his posture. Look what he wants to do. He has a sheriff, and he wants to get aggressive, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No, wait.
So you need to tell him something, or ask him something. You need to be like, or even not even that. Like, what you need to be doing for him is you could hold this position, but like, at this point, instantly, like, okay, you're leaving, good. After he flashes, it's good. But I mean, I think like, you need to be like, hey, Gecko, can you just sit there and hold heaven or something, right? Because I actually get I always get at least 1 kill from this position on the heaven guys every time. So you could just tell him that. You could be like, hey, look, just go down here and hold heaven. I got your left side. You know, you could do that. Or what you could do, you're the Jett. So what you could say is, hey, we're on a what is this kind of buy? Let's look at the team economy. Oh, dude, look at our money, bro. If we don't, how much money are we gonna have next round? We need to have an op next round. So like if you want, what you could do is you're the Jett, and he's the initiator. So you need to be like, hey, look, hold my heaven or flash for me, and then you come out here at the start of the round, right? You just walk out here, you pop dash, own that kid, and then you hold heaven, right? Maybe you want to like smoke this off or smoke that off. Ideally, you'd one way again. If I was a better Jett, this one way would be like terrific. This isn't too bad. Nah, it's pretty bad. But you could like one way this ideally. And then you could hold heaven, reposition here, hold like this, hold like a tight angle. That way, the reason you want to hold a tight angle is it's a safer angle to play. Like, not only are you not exposed to this heaven guy, but like, you're less likely to die. And you're also probably less likely to kill him, and that's okay. Like, you're really just holding this for info. You're trying to get that reactive, like, one tap to the head. But even if you just hit his body, right? If you're aiming a little too low, you get 40 on him and you fall back, totally fine, right? You don't. It's basically the whole point of these kind of fights is they're non-committal, right? I could just hold like this, right? I get a shot off or a couple shots, and then I can fall back to like cover, and then I can hold like this, right? And then, or I can hold, you know, if we still have dash, like let's say we got like a couple kills here or something like that, I could come out here, right? And I could just hold, I could do this. I could come like here and just take more fights. Or, you know, if you want, you could come here and then you updraft. You would not want to updraft. That's a horrible idea. You'd definitely die. But it all depends what your Gecko would be doing. You'd want to play off him a little bit. But you could also smoke the cross if there's like your sight's getting overwhelmed and your Gecko dies. And then you come back to holding this space again like we talked about. Something like that. But yeah, you need to buy an op next round, man. I want to see it. I hope you buy an op.
Can you buy me?
Yeah, you're rotating. This is good. You're rotating earlier this time. I like that. Your Astra just saw mid. I mean, you, be careful here. Be careful. See? No, we're aware. This is good. This is good. I'd be a little bit more cautious when you pull this knife out there. Like, you got to be aware that, like, you know, that bottom position, right? So you come, oops. You come here, you clear this, and then you clear this, and you hold like this, and then you come here, you get ready to clear this again, and then you come here again because this guy could be here, and then you can knife out. All you just gotta play it safe. Like, remember, Valorant is just a gambling game, okay? And that is really all it is. And this gamble right here, like, how much time is the knife out really saving you, right? It's like, you know, you cleared this, and then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like you're like what, roughly 4 3/4. You know, we'll say. Whereas here it's like 1, 2. Oh, if we were to clear this properly, it'd probably be like a second, right? So we're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it's like a second. We'll say it's a full second. But you know, that second difference is like, it's so worth it. Like, okay, maybe we save a second with our knife out. Mostly not even because our knife's out, but because we're just not even clearing anything. Right? That's the real reason that's faster. But I mean, like, I would, even if you just don't, even if you're lazy about it, have your gun out. That way, at least if this guy starts shooting at you and whiffs, at least you could just like turn around and shoot at him, right? At least you can do that. I mean, that's a lot better than like doing this, and then he starts shooting at you, and then you gotta like turn around and have to pull your gun out. You know, I mean, let's put that Kovacs to use, man. Like, you know, at least you could flick on this guy or something like that.
Oh no, bro!
But the main thing is clear that stuff. It doesn't take that much longer of a time, and it's just worth it. You don't want to put your life at risk. That is why, like, if you want to take that fast rotation through mid, right, instead of through spawn, most of the time you want to be rotating through spawn, because it's just safer, and you want to have as few variables as possible. But if you want to go mid, that's fine too. But if you do, like, and you know, I think in this round, it makes a lot of sense to go mid because you're the hero rifle, and you should go mid and clear that stuff. But clear that stuff. You bought a rifle, you know, get some use out of it. Like, actually use it to clear that stuff and make sure that you're not going to get shot in the back of the head.
Oh, I clicked E and it does nothing. Why does his gun fly 20 meters away?
Could they have been in the smoke?
You got that. Stay alive,
Oh
bro.
no, bro! I clicked
That's
E and it does
unlikely.
nothing. Why does his gun fly 20 meters away?
Yeah, I guess it's unlikely that they'd be in the smoke. This is fine.
Let me have it.
I like this. Love
Spike
that.
down A.
Oh, dude. So what I would do instantly? Smoke. You gotta smoke. This is something. Again, I'm not a. I don't know how many times I've said this. Look, I would probably be bad about this too. Smoke this, and then you could hold this. You know, or just reposition. Right? You could even break the vent door for yourself, and you could kind of repause here, or just hold this. Right? And then you could break the next vent door. And then you have freedom to at least threaten the idea that you're either flanking or you're going back, you know, through spawn, through B-Link. I think your teammate's flanking, though. I think what I would do at this point, because this position's extremely hard to get out of, right? Either you walk up here. My mouse is there, okay. I don't know why my mouse was showing up. But either you walk up here, and this is a weird fight because you have to hold W, and this neon could just slide out on you or something like that. And while you're holding W, you're a very easy target to kill. So I don't really like that idea. You know, it is probably better to just hold it, but the issue is like that smoke only lasts 2 seconds, and you would just get shot. So I would just smoke this, break vent. I'm running through here. I'm breaking this, and then I think my teammate's flanking, right? I'm just catching up with my teammate at that point, because I think we saw both of them sight, right?
Nice. Let me have
It'd
it.
be nice if we had info on where this Omen was. I like that you went for the second kill, though, man. You know what? I'll be honest. I don't even think I would have done that, and I would be that would be an incorrect play on my part to not do that. I think you have to do that, and I'm glad you did that.
Down A.
So you had the right instinct there. That was good. You need to smoke this off, though. Or if you want, you know, the other option is smoke this off, and then, you know, smoke it off again if you need to, or like if you really want to go for another fight site. But I mean, I think you should smoke this off and then just come here.
Nice.
Because like this Omen, I don't think we know where he is, right? Yeah, yeah, you're not very, yeah, and you're realizing it now. You're like, oh shit, I'm kind of screwed.
Bad positioning by me. I could have done.
Yeah.
I knew he was there. I
Yeah.
fucking knew it, and I just. Oh.
And it's just I mean, you felt it too. I could see that you felt it. You're like, man, this guy could just swing from here. He could swing from here. He could walk up the rope and rope accuracy me. He could swing out at any time. This guy actually walked up on you. That's why I think it's just better for you to just fall back and just, you could hold heaven if you wanted to. Issue is that they could still go up in heaven this way. And then if you're Gecko, like I would just say, hey Gecko, just hold A main. I'm coming. I'm coming, baby. Just stay there. Don't die. I'm coming. And now this Gecko's not gonna win this 1v2 probably, right? But it's like, you know, you put the round on such a, you did such a good job, and then you kind of threw it away.
No.
This is crazy in here, bro.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, it's heaven.
There it is.
Jesus.
Okay, we're just AFK.
Alright.
What's going on here? Why are we AFKing for like 20 seconds? I mean, look, they're like at that point. Look, the guys.
Yeah, what's Ash?
It's not the worst thing. Your team like shoved it up B though. Oh my goodness.
It's really mid, right?
Man, I think the way this Gecko's playing is I would just be playing with this guy every round. You know, I would just be like, look, this Gecko's homicidal or suicidal, and I just need to take advantage of that. Like, he wants to push up, I need to push up with him.
Oh.
I don't like, I get why, like, this B stuff happens, right? So you're like, okay, well, we cleared all of B. You didn't really have that much info mid, it didn't seem like, right, up until now. So you're thinking they could just be walking up A. And then this kill happens. Yeah, I mean, that's 3 players mid. And you're hoping that you're gonna catch a lurk. But I think you just gotta go.
Where do you think they're going?
Me. B.
Me?
I think the reason you gotta go is that you need to just be in a position where you can play off your team more, and that's why we You know, I gotta hammer this home a lot. I think it's fine to start here sometimes, but you've started here, I think, on pistol, on the bonus round, and then on this round. And it is true that people don't clear this spot as often as they should, and it can definitely get value. I would never play here 3 times and a half though. Like, that's actually crazy. Like, it's just an exposed open position, and the worst thing about this position is that if they're walking up, you don't have the early info like this position does, right? Which is fine if you don't want to take this position. I'm not arguing that you should. But, like, every once in a while you can. But, like, you don't really have info, right? And then on top of that, you have to jump down and make noise and reveal your position when you want to go. Which means that anyone lurking hears you and knows where you're at. And then you have to be cautious about that. And it's, I want to say, it's almost like I don't even feel safe swinging this. Because, like, this guy could just be anywhere by this point. So it's almost, it almost makes me personally want to, like, pop dash and, like, waste it. But you really shouldn't. And the point being is, like, if you really think there's a lurk here, which you have no reason to think that there is, the enemy team hasn't been lurking. Just do this. You clear it like that. And now you're up here with your Reyna, and then you can fight mid with him or something like that. And, you know, you break the vent, and then you smoke here or something like that. I don't know. I would not go vet. I would not go vet. It's just such a bad fight. I would just rotate, man. I would rotate and come here to fight mid because you need some kills and you need to help your Astra. Your Gecko, your Astra's
flash out and break.
Yeah, you're here with your Reyna, which makes sense. So you're flashing out. I like that. Nice.
Spike planted.
Again, you could just get shot in the back.
Careful left, careful left. God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nice try. You have to go for some fights here, and it's really, I'm gonna see if there's something I can nitpick here. Yeah, I mean, there is. I think you're being a little too undisciplined about peeking. There's, like, one angle that you kind of need to be. I think, one, you could jump spot, but I get that you just want to, like, you need to make sure that you clear this at least. If you want to go for a fight because you're running low on time, and you really want to win the round, clear this first, and then you can clear this if you want. You can clear this, or you could clear like that, but, you know, either way you clear any of these positions, you're kind of screwed, because there's no smoke. But if you're going for a fight, at least clear this first, always. And then do whatever you want.
God damn it, man.
And then I would just save.
Oh, I suck ass. God damn it.
Nah, I mean,
Damn,
it was a
bro,
nice try
it's
once you
just
got to that point. Still no op though. This is sad. Isn't this crazy? Like, did the attack Jett bought an op before we bought an op? Jett diff.
Should have got it to where I could draw.
Will give them to me.
You say, bro.
Man, dude,
Yeah.
we need an op in our hands, man. Because think about what your team's, like, struggling with. We lack info as a comp. The only info we have is, like, a Sage Wall when it goes up, and if the enemy team doesn't break it, and our Gecko Flash, which is horrible, and I guess Wingman, which is also horrible on Abyss. So you basically have, like, 0 info. So your info, the way that you need to get info is with your body, and you're the perfect agent to do that. You're Jett. So you need to, like, be getting this info early, right? Or on A, you probably, with this comp, you probably do need to be fighting A main just to get that info early and try to get a kill and get out with your dash. Like, that is really how you should be playing the map as Jett. And you absolutely need an op because the op just makes this so much easier. You know? The op is just so much, like if you're grinding the aim labs and the Kovacs, this gun is where you could put all those skills to use, right? Because the Vandal's first shot accuracy is like, it's a 0.25 likelihood that you're gonna miss your first shot, or I don't know what the percentage like exactly is, but if you look here, first shot accuracy, it's like 0.25. Phantom's 0.2. It's a little bit accurate, and I don't know about you, but I can tell. Like I obviously it sucks to like hit someone in the head with the Phantom and like, you know, lose the fight like because you hit him for like 140, but they buffed the Phantom, and you know that does happen a little bit less at least. But I'm just saying that on your first initial bullet, I absolutely can tell that slight difference. This is a 0.2 on the first shot accuracy, and this is a 0.25. Something that low. Absolutely, I feel it. Now, after a few shots, it doesn't really make a difference, but, like, I don't know, man. I'm just saying I can feel that, and I like, or even with like, the classic and ghost, think about that, right? This is a 0.4, this is a 0.3. 100, I mean, look at the reason why you use the ghost, right? It's because it's more accurate. You 100% feel that, right? So the op, what is its first shot spread? Oh, it's just, there isn't one, right? It's completely accurate. So compare 0.25 to just totally accurate. Like, this is your aim lapse gun right here, right? I think all the snipers are like that, right? Yeah. I don't know what these numbers, the first shot spread numbers are kind of weird. I don't know what they like represent because it's not the same thing. Huh. Anyway, yeah, I need to learn how this stuff works a bit better, but like point being, you know, use the aim to your advantage, right? And like the target's so much bigger, your Jett, you need to be opping, like please just op. On Abyss, it's like the opping map. Like look at the way the map's designed. Right, look at this. Like, look at the lines of sight. Like, this is the opping map. Look at that. Or we'll pretend we're on defense. Like, look at that. Like, long lines of sight, straight long lines of sight. Like, you know, a little bit less so. It's not as long. But, like, man. I mean, it's still, like, crazy amount of, like, op angles. Just a crazy amount. Nuts. Please use the op or snipe some kind, like against decos, buy an outlaw. On full buys,
no way they
buy an
come
op.
here. Just go ahead and rotate.
5v4. I hope you're. I mean, you're on eco, so if you wanted to go for something crazy, it's not the worst thing.
They'd have to get anally butt raped. That's me. Oh, Kurt, you're dead. Oh my god, you're so dead.
Oh!
Yeah, let me see. I mean, I know this fight took place.
That's
Could
me.
be, right?
Oh,
Your team is so crazy. They're just
Oh
taking
my
all
god,
mid.
you're so dead.
I think what you.
Oh my god, you're so
Oh, this
dead.
is fine.
Oh!
Yeah, so you see the shooting error. You just. I think you could have had that almost. That was close. But she caught you very off guard. And dude, I like my shooting error stuff pops up all the time. Like I'm still pretty bad at like moving.
I wait.
See, I wouldn't worry about this Jett. I'd go with your teammate.
Spike down mid.
I just don't care about this Jett. I would not rotate like this either because this Jett. I mean, you are right to like think that yeah maybe this Jett could walk up, but like you should take the safest, fastest pathing to get to your teammate right now because there's still 2 other enemy players. And what you really need to do is you could walk back here. This Jett hasn't peeked you in a while. I doubt that she's gonna be still walking up at that point. I would just run here. I would run like this, and then now maybe the Jett walked in, and it could be, you know, perhaps taking rope, but like, you know, I'd rather play here because like I could still cover for my teammate's back if this guy does for some reason still go A, and then after some timing happens, he could walk into CT, but like usually by then that Rain is going to be taking the fight, and then you could help her mid, right? Or you could even go vent with her, which again, I've been super claustrophobic. I don't really like fighting in this area at all. I pretty much always avoid it, but like I'm almost never vent. Sometimes I'll cook some stuff up because it can be fun to do like an A split through it, but even an A split through it feels like crap. You have to get like a bunch of utility to clear out all this stuff, and then like a deep smoke here on attack anyway. I don't know why I'm thinking about attack, but I'm just saying even on defense, it's like here's the one good use event though. I will say this. We'll talk about it later on attack, but on post plant A, if you have heavy control, always break the vent door and just play late here. You could be helping your team as well. It's better to do that, but if you're like, you know, man disadvantage or like it's a 1v1 especially, and they like always break vent, at least threaten the idea that you could be here, and you could just tuck in and like wait. But we'll get to that later on attack. I'm kind of, again, you know, I'm still new to the whole VOD reviewing stuff, and I'm very stream of consciousness, so I'm still learning to dial that down sometimes and be a bit more focused. Okay, you grouped up with your teammate. This is good.
Last player.
No way that he can't. He doesn't see my flash.
I'd use my smokes. I definitely. I mean,
Please. Oh.
I would assume he heard you, but I guess not.
He knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
He's
we're
gonna be
thinking he
saying
knows,
that
we
to
should
you.
be using our
Heard.
smokes to close the distance.
You're better than him though.
Like we're taking way too long.
He's scared of you, Kurt. You have more aura than him.
Yeah, and if we're gonna jump down,
Yikes.
you gotta use your smokes, man. Jeez, you didn't use. Yeah, there's like so many opportunities to use your smokes. Like once that shot on the Reyna happens, I'm going the wrong way. Jeez. Yeah, I would smoke on this corner, smoke here, and you could just kind of come up here, clear this stuff, or clear that. Or if you still have your smokes, smoke like this, smoke like this, fall, jump down into your smoke. I think a better one would probably be like on this box, right? And then you're one way for a second. I don't know. There's probably a better way to do this. At least this. I don't know. Something. You can smoke like this, and then... Oh, this is awkward. I don't know, man. I'll figure some stuff out. But, like, I just think at least this. Like, here is just, like, I'm stuck. Here is crazy. You'd never want to fight an op like this. I mean, I think what you do is you don't even go nest. I think that's why I'm screwing up. I wouldn't even go nest. This op, you probably don't need to clear this. You know, this is your main threat. But I would always, like, smoking corners like this is really good. And then you could smoke this. And then, you know, you're still pretty screwed, honestly. But, I mean, at least you're using your smokes to do something. And you gotta go fast.
Damn, my Bucky, damn.
God, I did some of the time. I like maybe could have like jumped.
Good, all good.
Smoked.
No.
Alright, let's see what you're saying.
Jump peek.
All good.
By the way, it started storming, so I can, like, hardly even hear this video. But I know that if I play the audio too high, I'm just gonna hear Rana yapping extremely loudly, and then, like, my audio isn't gonna go through.
All good.
Smoked
No.
or something. I don't know.
Yeah, smokes. So at least you have the impression that you should be smoking, which is good, because, like, you should be.
Alright.
But man, I mean, just another round on Abyss is Jett with no op. I mean, it's just criminal.
Alright.
It's just so sad. Because I'm letting you know right now, even as a non-Jett, I will play Phoenix and op on this map. I will play Omen's a great op agent. Sage, I will op as Sage. Like, I don't care. Like, you got an op on this map, man. It's so good. Yeah, and the Jett realizes that, right?
Oh, he's just sitting there with the shot. With the, bro, why?
Yeah, what do we...
Nobody swings that on our team. Do you swing that?
So this is smoked.
I don't
like,
swing
you should,
that.
as soon as that smoke comes down, just clear front sight and move on, I think.
This is with the Bucky and they're sprinting at me. But they're making zero.
Yeah, I think we...
swings that on
Again,
our team. Do you
I don't know just how audible my audio is. I hope it's okay when the rain is talking.
swing
but
that?
No.
I don't swing that.
it might not be as bad as I think it is.
This is with the Bucky and they're sprinting at
I
me.
think we're just not doing anything.
But they're making zero.
I'm just trying, like, we just aren't doing. And look, now the Jett's here, I'm running. Yeah, there's just so much time going by. There's so much stuff going on. Man, dude, I would not rotate like. So just think about your thought process for a second. And this storm's getting pretty bad. I might need to just do this half or something like that and come back to this. But think about the thought process. You're worried that these guys are still gonna walk through the smoke or, like, you know, late hit or lurk or something, and yet you still decide to take this pathing. Why would you? They could have crossed here, right, with that smoke. That smoke fades away, and then they just see you dead, right? They could shoot you from there. Or they could just get a, you know, crazy weird timing. Maybe they were hiding in the smoke. Let's see, like, when the smoke fades. Okay, it fades. Okay, we're just, our crosshairs in Narnia, right? This guy could totally be here. And we could get shot in the back. We're right here, we're dead. Dead. Dead, dead,
Are they both
dead,
playing
dead,
right now?
dead.
Close about to die on site.
Yeah, I mean, look, you need to, like, it is, I will say one thing on Abyss. It is true that you don't want to be instant rotating all over the map all the time. I think in the first 2 rounds it's fine. But in general, yeah, it's not a fast rotation map. It is a map that you should value map control on. But you know, man, like, you are overdoing it, I think. I think at this point, yeah, I mean, coming here is cool because a lot of noise has been cut and like you're not really sure what's going on. I know in like Plat, there's not like a whole lot of comms of what's going on. But look, the Jett started here, got a kill, and left. And as soon as you saw the Jett do that, you need to assume that they're just not going to go away because why would they? If their Jett isn't going to stay there and like continue opping that line or opping into sight, they're just not going to be hitting that. Like, just assume that and then just leave. You should have left like way sooner.
Spike planted.
He was close on you here. It was Jett. Wait, no, not Jett. I don't know. Dead. Yeah.
And let me just look at the mid real quick.
Planted.
So, do we know where both players are at? I think we know the Cypher.
He died, man.
Spike planted.
He was close.
I want to say we saw the Cypher somewhere here. There was like a comp on it. So I'm not worried about mid.
I don't know. Dead. Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Always gonna be op in heaven. So
Yeah, we're just kind of, we need to be more aware of this spot. We're not, the front side angle is like, it's played a lot. And it's a very common angle. We just got to be a bit more aware of it. Like whenever you are clearing stuff, hard clear that every time. Like every time you hard clear this. And then, or if you want, one, like you could smoke it off. I guess the one way could be better. If we do something like that. Right, so we could do this. And then come out here. Or we could Jett smoke this. And swing, or swing like that. Just use your smokes to clear angles a bit better. Like, I'll probably link you some stuff on like better usage of the Jett smokes.
Enemy remaining.
Okay, this is something.
good smoke. He's go up close.
Whoa.
He's dead.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Good smoke.
Yeah, I would not be holding like this.
He's go up close.
I think the way that you...
Up and have.
Did we hear him drop?
One enemy
We
remaining.
might not. Okay, we did see him on the map though, but you're looking at your crosshair, which is fine. I think what I'd do is I'm not giving this Jett a chance to take 2 1v1s with an op. I think the smoke's great. You know, it did something, and it's honestly it's better than what I'm doing. Right? It's a better smoke than what I'm doing. But I think once this he pops the shot, I'm just coming here, and then I'm tapping Spike instantly, and then we're holding with the Gecko. Right. The point being is that you just kind of gave this Jett an opportunity to take this one against the Gecko and win it. And then you're in a position, you're not really in a position to trade. I guess you could argue that as soon as she gets that kill on the Gecko, you could just dash in and kill her. But I mean, she does have some time to rebolt that op, and you could be cutting it a little close. Right, and then she might also have procced her dash by then. And if she hears you dash, maybe she does something crazy and just like, okay, maybe not that. But you know, maybe she's just gonna jump here, and then like you can't trade her. Oh, it's a very unlikely, but still, I just don't even know if you were popping your dash to even consider that. I think you're just trying to go for a fight, which is fine. It's not like the worst thing, but I'd rather you just stick with your teammate. And because like, yeah, even if she gets the op kill, you know, you're a little bit more likely to trade her.
He's go up close.
Wow, he actually went all the way up. That's crazy. Why would he do that?
Before the switch.
I know it. Oh shucks and bucks, they're here. Yikes and bikes. Yikes and bikes.
Feels like we only play here and here. Right, like we're just only playing when we're Avery just here or here. And these, again, these positions are fine. I think you played on this close position too much already. But I mean, like, at least hold. I mean, you're Jett. You can't just hold this angle at least. And I feel like you're a little... I think on this one you're fighting it a little bit more, right?
Oh shucks and bucks, they're here. Yikes.
So you're kind of holding an off angle. I think you could get away with a bit more though. I think yeah, see, I don't know if I would have re-peeked this without dash, because see, you already gave your position away that you were fighting this. If you really wanted to re-swing it again, you should pop your dash.
No way! On you.
But you could have also argued that, like, once you kind of showed that you were in that position and that neon wall came up, you know, it is a neon, you probably should just, like, you know, the wall's up, and I would just come here and just help my Reyna, like, instantly. I want to be there as soon as possible.
No way!
Yeah, I'd much rather you guys just take a fight like this together, right, where you can trade off them more. Because even though you're two people on the site, that neon did a good job isolating you guys with her wall. And I would have wanted to get close to my teammate.
No way! On you.
Damn it, dude.
Thanks. Wait. Shit. About he's making up for it.
Yeah, 4-8 half, that's tough, but very, very winnable.
But he didn't.
Bro, the gecko just...
But yeah, on A, I'll link some, like, I'll try to find some good stuff to where more positions that you can play on A site, because this VOD is already, like, you know, I'm already making it really long. But again, I would really recommend you abuse this position a lot more. It's really good, especially with an op. I really wish you just played more with an op this half. Holding this deep line like this is also really good. I don't think you did that a single time. You always played like this, and it's fine. But I'd rather you op like this, because it's very hard to get this kill, because no one's gonna swing like that, right? No one's really swinging like this. There's, you know, by that, usually they're swinging like this to clear this area. And what that means is that they're going at full speed by then, right? So, like, it takes, like, 2 steps to reach your maximum speed or something like that. It might be slightly less or slightly more, but around 2 steps. So that just means, like, they're kind of far away.
Plant the spike.
I mean, 30 meters is not nothing, right? So they're, like, 30 meters away, and they're full sprinting. And it's just this, you know, relatively tiny window. It's kind of hard to get that kill with a rifle. It's even hard to get that kill with an op. So what I would do is, don't be afraid to hold. If you do want to hold that, hold a little bit like this. Give yourself a bit more reaction time for this guy to pop up. Just hold like this. And then you can flick to him if you want, or if he's going fast, you just hold, let him walk into your crosshair. But, like, I would hold like this, you know? And whenever you're holding an angle like this, by the way, if you're expecting them to, like, come from right to left, always put your crosshair furthest to the left of the angle that you're holding. Like, or if they're coming from the right, you would go to the right. See, look where my crosshair is at. But, you know, they're going to come from the left, so we actually put our crosshair here instead of in the center or close, because we want our we want to give ourselves as much time to react to the target as possible. And however wide you're holding this angle just depends on your reaction time. If you think you can actually hit this shot, right? If you think your reaction time is that good with an op, yeah, you might be able to do this, right? With an op, maybe even this, right? But that's still pretty hard, even that. So, like, but with a rifle, I mean, bro, that's tough. That's tough. Even if your aim is good and reaction time is good, remember, it's a Vandal. Like, at 30 meters, fuck, bro, you don't even know if that shit's gonna hit his head. Yeah, you have to get, like, perfect crosshair placement and reaction time, whereas a op or any sniper, it's just reaction time, so it's just one less factor you have to worry about. Something like this is good. But We didn't see any op, man. Super disappointing. Always make plans to buy an op on Abyss or Breeze or Pearl or really anything. I mean, look, op is the RR cannon, dude. It is so valuable. That's why it costs so much, you know. The op, the Judge, the Bucky, the Shorty, the Odin on certain spots, like the Outlaw, these guns and the Stinger, like these guns are just like super high value, and you should abuse them. And man, you didn't use any of them.
Yeah.
It's
They won't 5-stack it like us. We got smart.
Cowards.
Yeah. They're not.
But yeah, like another thing about the op is, you know, you need to be opping when like the team's just on. Like, look, they have no flash, right? They have a Omen blind, but that's like short distance, and they have no ISO, which means there's no shield that can like block your op shot. This is just a free op composition you should be opping against. This is free RR. You could just farm these kids with an op all day. Nothing they could really do about it. They have a neon wall, and they are double smoke, but I mean, they're not going to be able to use this stuff effectively, to be honest. And they haven't really been doing much at the starts of the rounds. It looks like at the start of the round, what's happening is our teammates take a fight, even though we're Jett, right? So we're the Jett player, and yet everyone else takes fights before us. I mean, that is not good. You know, and you can't control the team that you're dealt, but you can control how you play off of them. And if your team is taking early fights as Gecko and Sage, or Astra, and the Reyna, of course, is going to take early fights, like, you need to be taking those with your teammate.
True.
And honestly, even without your teammate, you should sometimes still take those fights.
Gamblers.
Again, the A fight can be awkward because of the high-low, but, like, you know, on defense, but yeah, against the way these guys were playing was they were kind of just sending it into a one site, and they were pretty slow about sending it, and we still rotated too slow. And sometimes they would send it into mid. I don't know if I like the way we did that.
They're not true
Let's
gamblers.
full screen this. The screen's already small enough.
Cowards.
Yeah. They're not true gamblers.
Okay. Yeah, this is not good. So we're still pulling out our gun when this guy's on screen. So I don't think I need to go over that too much, but I mean, really the way you want to clear this is you really don't want to be clearing it close. And let someone else clear it close. What you need to be doing, jumping up here. I always like to jump up here, and then I'm clearing it like this, right? And then always be aware that someone could have timing this, and you know, you clear this. And looks like this guy's smoking himself off, and he wants to play on the edge of the smoke with like a shorty.
Oh, you seen that?
Enemy spotted A.
Oh, come on, man. We saw that guy.
No! How did you both walk past them? I'll be right back.
One heaven.
Oh, that's a nasty Omen blind. Didn't really, they couldn't really do much off it though.
I missed.
I like the post plant position there though. I think that was good. You know, because you're Jett, so you can afford to play in like this deep angle and dash away. So I like that. That was a good dash out.
I missed. Fuck out of here.
Let me see something real quick though. Okay, so you already you dashed into sight and now you just got it. Okay, yeah, it's good.
I missed.
Yeah, ooh, don't be knife out here.
Fuck out of
Don't be
here.
knife out here. I mean, if you really want to go back to A main, which is fine because there's a guy knifing the wall and they're like coming bridge and they're coming here, it's fine. But I mean, like, don't knife out, man. Like, have your gun out and just walk away. Again, you're really not saving that much time doing this. Like, just gun out, you know, and there you go. Oh, that's unlucky.
Last player
Oh,
standing.
dude.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky. You wanted to shoot the cam and then she instantly shows up on your screen. Not much you could do there.
Alright, Bucky or... Yeah.
What are we buying?
Bucky
Frenzy?
only to radio.
Oh, Frenzy on Abyss. So let me get this straight. We're gonna play a Frenzy on Abyss, a Spectre on Abyss, but we are not gonna play Marshal or Outlaw or Operator as Jett. Let's see what plan you have for the Frenzy. Do you have a plan with the Frenzy that you want to execute? Maybe you called it pre-round. I don't know. Okay, we get owned by a trip.
I got you.
Unlucky. We don't. Let me turn the volume down a bit. We
Oh.
we don't really have a comp to break trips, which is unlucky, but I think you had an updraft. What I'd be doing, especially in the first few rounds, you'll definitely be getting away with it. Valorant servers. Yeah, you're trying to. I think you smoked here also.
Here.
Yeah, it's not a bad duel with the Frenzy. Frenzy's got a 20 meters on it for like the first bullet damage range. I still don't really like this fight with the Frenzy, but honestly, sometimes you'll win it, sometimes you won't. It's not the worst idea. And then, you know, you could smoke this off, come up in this smoke with a Frenzy, and these fights are all good with the Frenzy. Honestly, it's not bad. Okay, so I'm not hearing any plans. And by the way, just remember, it's just Valorant. All a plan needs to be at this level is
Oh yeah,
hit
let's get
A,
in
hit
there.
B.
Let's get in there. What are they gonna do about it?
Let me turn this down.
What are they gonna do about us? Close right, close left, close
Okay,
left.
so we need to be calling for a smoke here. You you need to help your Astra out because remember, Astra's playing an RTS. She's not playing an FPS.
What are they?
So you need to like call for a smoke here. What a good hit would be like, or a good mid take. If you do want to go for a mid take, is you get a whoops, you get a Astra Star here, and then you have a Gecko Flash. Does the Gecko Flash clear this? Ideally, you'd want your Gecko to come over here and then flash over the shelf, so that way it clears these close angles and like gets rid of this this spot. And then maybe like Molly or you would one way. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Like, you do not want to be pathing top, for sure. You never really want to be pathing here unless you're doing some sort of A split, and then you would do something like that. And you'd always have this top mid smoke. And remember, when you're asking for the smoke top mid, it needs to be like this, right? Don't ever smoke like that, because then they could just walk out and disrespect you, and that is not fun. So I would always, unless you're doing some A split that you're a part of, you know, you would come here, you'd probably jump spot this for any op. At this stage, there's no worry for an op, so if you wanted to just swing this, you could. And then you'd look out for that, and then you would smoke. And then you'd break that, and you're in. But again, against the bonus, you really would never want to go vent, because if this guy already broke door, and he's in here, you're screwed. Or if you break the door and he's art, what the hell are you gonna do, right? I mean, at this rank, your Astra is not gonna be able to like competently just help you. You'd have to like call for like a suck and a stun or something like that, and a smoke, just to take heaven. It's probably not gonna happen, right? You need your Gecko to flash out with you, but this guy could just have a Judge or a Bucky, and it doesn't really matter if he's Gecko blind or Reyna blinded. Like, he could still just hold this, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I would never do this. In the first like 3, 4, 5 rounds, really especially the first 3, you really just want to be like 5-manning stuff. Like if you just 5-man like something, it's just so much easier, and like the round can go so much cleaner. They're on a bonus round and you have rifles. It's fine to just hit A again. You know, and you could just walk in. You could take these fights with a rifle and just clear the cypher trips as you walk in. You know, get a Reyna blind, you come up here, shoot the trip. Or you could go B if you really think the cypher's going to be there because he was there last round. That's fine too. But what you could do before you walk in, you know, is you know, hopefully someone's here that can hold this, or like here. But you could just kind of come here and just break the trips, you know. Break any trips that might be here, walk up, break any trips that could be in these areas, right, or down here. And then once you clear these positions, you know, you could smoke and dash in, something like that. And then come out like this and help.
What are they gonna do about us? Closer right.
But going mid like this isn't good. And again, I've totally got sidetracked. You do that top mid smoke with your Astra here, and you come down to the bottom, you could jump spot, right? You jump spot like this spot, and then you come here. This is smoked off. Vent's not broken yet. And then what you want to do is you want to throw a smoke here. That's like a one-way smoke. And then hopefully your gecko is flashed and like you cleared this, but if he hasn't, you need to clear it. So you could just throw this smoke if you're not confident in your one-ways. I'm not confident in my one-ways this Jett. But I mean, a one-way would be nice. You know, something like that. And then you come here, clear this. You could throw another one if you wanted. And then you need to like really, and I didn't even do it correctly. You want to like discipline clear this. Because this angle right here is a very common angle for people to hold mid with. Something like that. So you could even smoke this off if you wanted. Come up here, clear all this stuff, right? I'm being pretty lazy about it because I'm trying to get through it, but you know, you want to clear this a little bit. This guy could be in the Astra smoke, so you kind of want to wait out the Astra smoke before you do anything here. You probably just want to stay here until the Astra smoke is cleared, and then you swing this, and then you swing this. And then from there, you could decide what you want to do. You know, come here again. So on and so forth. But I mean, I just think that takes way too much coordination. And I would not even worry about going mid. I think you should just be like hitting B or hitting A. And I'll show you some more like B hits and A hits at some point. Either in this VOD or like after it. Yeah, you should never be, like, you should pretty much never be jumping here to help. I mean, here to help at this point is fine because your teammate's already doing it, but the Randa shouldn't be doing it. It's super ballsy and just not worth it. But he gets the kill. But I mean, look at these fights though. Like, if you look at these fights, like, you know, they're on a bonus, and let's assume they're not like you and they're not gonna, like, you know, swing this with the Spectre. Like, this position where this Reyna is, this guy's at an advantage with his eco gun. This guy, to help his teammate, is at an advantage with his eco gun, right? He's at a good spot. And this vent player is in a good spot if you cross him, right? Like, these fights just suck. We're like not using our guns in positions where they would get the maximum value compared to the enemy's guns. And that's kind of on the Reyna for doing that, but you know, I think you traded him out at least, which is great. Yeah, dude, not the knife out. Yeah, you gotta use the smoke, man. You really gotta use the smoke here. I mean, it's fine to clear this stuff, and you're with your team, so the likelihood of you getting traded is good. But like, look at these positions, right? They could be like here, here. They could swing close. They could be anywhere on these positions. They could swing out here from this box. You know, they could be heaven. You use a smoke to get something. Like, just block this off, right? If you're not comfortable with, like, turning your smoke, like, you know, you could do this. If you're not comfortable, because I'm not, like, you know, coming out here and then doing a Jett smoke. You're not, like... See, I'm so bad at this. You do something, like, just block this off. That's easy. And then do this. Right? Just, like, you're blocking this off for the sake of your team. That there isn't just some guy, like, here that just swings. You know? Or, like, some guy that's gonna, like, swing out from, like, here. It's unlikely. So I'm kind of nitpicking a little bit. But I think I would just do this. You could even just hold here. And then let your team do this. Because, like, there's a small point in time where, like, this guy could swing you. But I don't know. I don't want to nitpick too much.
And the piss pants are you doing?
Yeah, so there is a guy C2. I don't think I would have worried about going toward that heaven fight, by the way. I would just tell my team, like, it is nice to retake heaven, but once you knew that guy was vent, I think, right? I don't want to take this vent guy on whenever he could be, like, here with, like, an eco gun. So I just wouldn't worry about it. You know that other guy's CT. I would just, like, run over here. Not with my knife out, but, like, you know he's probably not going to be on this side, but you could still clear it. Come here, and then I would just plant here. And that's it. And then you could just hold this area. Or, like, over here. Just hold somewhere in this area is, like, better.
Was gonna come flank. Get back to side curve.
Like, this gecko should not have planted there, but I don't know. Maybe you guys got info on both of them. Wow, he just goes up heaven and kills both. Okay, well, looks like we're just grouping up B. That's nice. 5-manning something. That's sweet. Let me just look at this again. It's not too bad. Yeah, you knifed out a little too soon. There could have been a moment where this guy swung out at just the right timing. I would just just a little. I would wait completely for that to get cleared. Let's look at it again. If you look at the minimap, look where the vision cone is for the ult. Yeah, see, there's just a slight moment where that guy could have just stepped out. But you know what? I am getting way too nitpicky for a VOD that's way too long, and I'm gonna stop. Like, that is just really, that honestly, that's not even something you should be worrying about. Whoa. Oh, dude, that is sick. I like that you pushed into this guy, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, he is. Still on the
Ooh, this smoke is sus. Ah, this is tough. You're gonna need to use some smokes here.
Swing main.
I would not have
TP,
done
you're
that.
good, you're good. Probably TP'd at heaven. Yep.
So he is heaven. Aw, NT, bro, NT. Good attempt. You should have just smoked the bomb off, because that smoke just pretty much gave away where he was, right? I don't know, did he ult or something? Or I don't know how he got there so fast, but that smoke was super sus. What you should have done is just like double smoke out of the omen smoke, get bomb, run back into the smoke, and you're good to go. And smoke. The reason you don't want to smoke here is, one, even with the perfect Jett smoke, does this even cover the whole thing? It does, but you have to get it like perfect, right? But even with the perfect Jett smoke, you know, you're still, jeez. This guy could still be here or on this side. You're going into a 50-50. And then 2 seconds go by and it's like a, what would you even call that? I don't know, right? Like a 25-75, whatever. Like, to your disadvantage. It's just not worth it. Like, just use your smoke, grab the bomb, you're out. You know, and then from there, you know, you could come back site and plant, or you could come here and plant. This would be a good plant. And then from there, you could either hold like this. He's probably going to smoke himself off. You could go heaven if you wanted. I don't think I would go heaven, because he is probably going to smoke himself off. He's an omen, so you'd want to stay on the ground. But you could like make noise running to heaven like that, and then walk back. And then from here, just clear this. And if you have dash, you know, you could pop it. Ideally, man, it'd be so nice if you had a shorty, because then, you know, you could just like, if he taps it, you could just pull out shorty and just like run in and just own that guy. Very good try though. Let me turn this up.
Bit high, just a oh. That sucks, man.
Alright, 5-man A. You know the Cypher's gonna be here, right? Especially with the cam now. And remember, we can run into this trip. We can run into the trips now.
How is it a lot?
This took me a while too. Don't be afraid to run into the trip. Remember, it's now got a whole 0.5 seconds before it goes into revealing your position. And even when it reveals your position, it's a lot slower now. It's like it slowly glows up into revealing you instead of instantly. So, you know, you could just have a shorty here and just like run into it and just shoot it. You don't have to be that accurate. Or you could just run into it, shoot it. You know, just... it is kind of crazy it didn't die, because it's like, you'd think it would shoot through this, but... You know, don't waste your time spamming it when you could just run it.
Bro.
Don't waste your time spamming it when you could just run through it and shoot it.
Oh no.
Whoa, did we just... Where did we just dash?
How is
Jesus
it alive?
Christ. Get it, bro.
Oh no. Oh. Oh,
Man, I don't know what our stage is slowing. This is awkward.
Like,
So let's just pretend the sage slow isn't there. I'm assuming you meant to dash here. But here's the thing you need to do with your dash, and I don't know if your sense is high enough to do this, but even at like, let's say if I go down to like 0.2, I'm still turning here. It's very hard for me. Very hard for me to turn, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm probably doing like this. And I'm doing something like that. I need to know if this guy's here. Right? It's super, super important that whenever you're dashing in, you're clearing stuff. You have to do that. Just something like that. I'm not used to 0.2, so it's very difficult for me to do that, and I probably would still lose the fight. Oh, and another thing, whenever you're dashing, if you want to go the extra distance, like if we look at, let's go into this corner, and let's look at like this, this like red thing. Let's use our dash here. We get to like this position, right? But if we do a jump dash, look how much further we go. So we were like here, right? We go further if we jump first. And it's not by a lot, it's only by like 2 meters. But sometimes whenever you have to dash from like back here, it's nice to get this extra distance, you know? Instead of being like a little bit here. It just means you're a little bit safer sometimes. So just keep that in mind. It also means that if there's like a trip here and you're jump dashing, you go over the trip, right? That's super important. I think you go over the trip, unless he places it like high, maybe like the bottom of your feet still like get hit.
I spent 30.
But just keep that in mind. Point being is that you need it whenever you're dashing. Don't dash here. I know you want to try to get away from the bridge guy, but you're safe for the most part from the bridge guy here. Like he's gonna, if you like dash here, you're gonna be fine. If he really wants to spam you, he's probably gonna get traded. He's just out in the open, and your radar will kill him. But the reason you can't dash here is obvious. Like you just saw it. Yeah, you're in a 50-50. Totally, just like no way you're gonna win both these fights. So just always dash behind cover. A smoke would be great. And clear your ankles whenever you're dashing in.
30 minutes trying to break a damn cipher trip.
bro, me.
I don't know how to aim when I get out the smoke. I'm like a bat, bro. My eyesight's gone. I sat there in the smoke. What is? We just
Okay, we'll skip over.
let's be for real here. Let's be for real.
Come back from this, the fuck?
It looks like this is
what
the
if I
last
ran
round.
Oh, let's be for real here right now. Oh, bombs mid is what they could do.
Yeah, we could have been more
And
clear
just
about what we
send
wanted to
us-
do here.
Oh wow.
Oh, look at them. That's a nice shot, man.
Wow.
Good prediction
That
there.
was so talented of you. Let's get bomb.
Man, I hate that, yeah, our team's super uncoordinated, but man, like, you just gotta remember, you do not have to have mastermind strats. You don't even need to say, like, you don't need to go to the level of depth that I'm going to, even with, like, the simple things that you could communicate to your team about where to smoke, but at least tell them where to hit. I mean, at least tell them that. At least say, hey, let's go B, or hey, I'm going B, you know, like something, please.
I'm gonna wank here.
Bomb.
And maybe, and like I've been skipping all over the place, so maybe you've been a lot better about that than I think you have, and I'm being unfair. But from what I've seen, it feels like it's kind of rare.
Just for a second.
Last player.
Bro,
I'm gonna
Let's get back
let's
a
get
little
bomb.
bit. Sage is out.
Close.
Yeah, this is tough.
Just for a second.
I kind of get why you don't want to just rush in to trade this guy. I think you might want to try though. Like you could have popped your dash, try to get the shelf kill, and then dash back into the omen smoke.
Last player.
Bro, he just
I would not. Yeah.
no.
Yeah, you don't want to go danger because of that right there. But also, even if that guy doesn't just swing on a timing like that, it's not just him swinging on a timing. It's that even if he swings at you, it's just so easy for this guy to know exactly. Like, there's only one line. There's like only one spot he can like. You're like threatening, whereas like potentially on your screen, they could threaten this, or they could threaten this high-low position, and they're swinging into you, and it's just so much easier for them to pre-aim and kill you. rather than you reactively having to like kill them, in my opinion, especially when it's like this. But like, also, even if this guy doesn't do that and you get here, well, now what? I mean, I guess you're gonna smoke and then do this. That's fine. If you're gonna do that, that's fine. You are Jett, but I don't know, man. I haven't seen you use your smoke a lot, and like even here, right? Like, look at this. So there's like even the Jett smoke. You have to get it like perfect. You have to use like 2. You have to go like here and here, and then you'd be fine. But I don't know. There's probably a better way. Like maybe this is fine. But, like, you're still kind of exposed to this guy for a second, and then this guy, and then potentially a guy swinging here, because this is smoked off, so he might actually be out here wide. But yeah, unfortunate. Man, I wish you got that ace, too. That was sick.
Warm-up game, quick warm-up game.
But yeah,
Yeah, shit map.
it is a garbage map. That's facts. It is. I mean, it's cool in some ways, but yeah, I mean, in ranked, it is garbo.
Delete it.
So, main takeaway from here is, 1, and let me make some, I'll send you some notes. 1 is, be more aggressive as Jett. 2, buy a fucking op, please. You're playing Jett, and it's Abyss. 3, try to, the Spectre, like, SMGs in these, like, long-range engagement maps just isn't that good. You shouldn't have bought it. You know, buy the Outlaw, please, on round 2. Pretty much regardless of map, you want to buy an Outlaw. I think the exception to that is like Bind or Split, where you could totally get away with like a Stinger or a Bucky. Depends on what you want to do, but on defense, like the Outlaw is just the meta right now. It's so good. And it carries over into your round 3 like really well. It's just so worth it. And you need to be saving for op. You need to rotate faster, even for a long rotation map like Abyss, like a map where you should be not immediately rotating all the time. You still need to play off like what the enemy team is doing, and if they're just sending it somewhere, like if you see, you know, if every round you see like 3 of them in an area and that's just where they're gonna go, you gotta rotate there. You need to like, it seemed like you were struggling to predict what your enemies were gonna do, and you need to get better at that. Like when that Jett peeked A main with an op and then was seen mid by your mid player like 10 seconds later, you just got to leave the A side at that point and go help your mid players, or go into the B site and like help B. In terms of what you wanted to focus on, of like if you get stopped somewhere, what's your plan, your follow-up plan? I mean, it's super dependent. I don't think I mean in this game, like it's Abyss, like a lot of times, like there's not much you can do, right? If you're playing A fails on like a retake, for example, you just lose. You know, it's like a lot of times you're in like a man disadvantage on retake. But part of that is also you just not recognizing how your teammates wanted to play and playing off them. Like you had a low information comp in your Jett. You need to be getting the info with your body a lot more, and just basically being an owl drone that can kill, or a KJ turret that's mobile. You know, like you need to be able to. You should have been able to see that a lot sooner in the game, and just don't be afraid to get aggressive. Like I know how good you can aim. Like your average aim is better than Plat players. So like even if sometimes you get shit on or whatever by some Plat players still have some aim, and Valorant's definitely not a game that's all about aim. Aim is like maximum 30% of the equation, probably not even that high, probably like a lot lower. But like your main thing wasn't really your aim. I mean, your aim was fine. It was just like you weren't using it. Like you weren't putting yourself in positions to where it could really shine, and you needed to be a lot more mobile. And then you got to use your smokes. I mean, your smokes were just like nowhere to be seen, man. Like, yeah, I felt like you died a lot of times with like 2 smokes in the tank, or like a smoke in the tank where you totally could have used it. So get better at using smokes. They're super valuable. I mean, Riot kept nerfing those smokes for a reason, right? Because originally she had 3 smokes and they were 7 seconds long, and they costed I think only 100. right? And now it's like they last 2 seconds, they cost 200 and there's only 2 of them. So the smokes are super high value. Use them to, you could take some aggressive angles with them and then fall off. You need to also just look at like a pro VOD of like someone playing Jett on Abyss, which there are loads of, right? Watch Aspas play it, for example. He's a good player. Or Som or someone. Just look at some of the positions they play, like this angle right here. You don't need to pop dash for it, but like this angle, very strong, right? You could totally just kill a guy here and then fall off. And then obviously you wouldn't want to have your back turn like I just did. You'd want to like be ready for this guy. But this is a strong angle. Just this angle on B is good, right? Peeking into this at this start of the round, very strong, especially with an op, right? You peek here with an op, right? You do this, and you smoke yourself off, and then now you're here, and you take another shot, and then you instant rotate heaven, right? And then maybe by then you got your second kill, and your dash is prep. You disrespect the smoke, you get another kill, or like maybe you come out here. Get this kill, or even then you don't. If you've already gotten 2 kills, honestly, you could just chill. You don't even need to do that. But maybe it'd be good for you to kind of quote unquote overheat a little bit, right? Like you need to be a bit more aggressive. You're too passive, and you're too passive on an agent that you really shouldn't be passive on. Like you could be very aggressive with her. I would have loved for you to play B a lot more. I think B is super hard to retake. Did we win a single B retake? I don't know if we did. I think we won 1 B retake, and it's because this Jett trolled and your Gecko killed her. Other than that, I don't know if we did. I think we won we won another B retake when we flanked, right? I think there's like 2. And the A is just this and this. Come up here, man. This is really good. It's not always a bad thing to fight this position, right? Sometimes, especially as Jett. Even though it's a high-low, you don't even need to flick to the guy, but like you could try. If you're aiming here, and then this he comes at you first, just flick to his head and dash away. You could just go for something like that. You have your Jett dash. Don't be afraid to go for stuff. You could play just here, right? You could pop your dash, play this off angle. This guy comes in, and then you dash. Probably you want to find a better dash than this. Point being that you're Jett. Like, use your dash to put yourself in positions that you wouldn't otherwise be able to play. Or you could just play this angle. Like, this angle is fine, right? Just playing here is fine. If you're gonna play here, I'd like you to at least sometimes hold this deeper angle. Like, this is fine. Or hold it like this. Switch it up a little bit. This is just a really hard shot without an op. Heaven is really good. Obviously you're gonna get smoked off because they have Omen Clove, so it's definitely fine that you're not playing here. I totally respect that. But I would definitely be playing up here a lot more. And then mid is just pretty basic. I mean, mid is just, if you're not sure what site they're gonna hit, and again, your default could be B, but let's say they're also hitting A a lot, you could start playing mid, and you could just hold for this guy, or this guy. You could just take a fight. I can't remember if they had a Sova or not. I think they did. But, you could request someone should break the Sova dart, and you walk up here or something like that. Or, this is a bit of a crazy play, and I don't know if most coaches would ever really recommend this, but, like, I really just like pushing all the way up here and getting someone to from up here to hold this spot while I hold top. Because from top, they are not going to clear you. Like, they're going to come like this, and then you're going to kill them. Like, it's very rare for top to ever swing you. It might feel like a little bit of an awkward fight at first, but it's really good. Or, better, sometimes you're Jett. You could just swing this guy. Like, you could go for some kills. Someone to hold your top or smoke your top. Just come here, and, smoke yourself off, whatever. Point being, there's a lot of things you could have done. You were just too passive, and you got too... I think you just need to expand your horizon a bit. You need to see more options on the table for what you got. Because you got a lot of options as Jett. And I don't know how long this has been, but Probably a while. Okay, 2 hours and 16 minutes. Wow. Yeah, no, it's been a minute.